In this series of brief teachings for contemplation from The Truth Will Set You Free, I am presenting some very key messages that Swamiji has taught over the decades, and wanted to share these with you as an intermittent series which will remind you to dip again into the book and also to elevate your contemplation practice. You are surrounded by teachers, but you do not heed their instructions. The words of gurus, the writings of great ones, nature, Maya, sun, moon, all of this earth and its spatial environment can be your university. Unfortunately, humans have a tendency to filter everything through their own personalities. The almighty ego becomes interpreter. In the resulting confusion, God, him, herself would not be recognized if encountered face to face. When truth and compassion are offered, the self-concerned human fails to see the value thereof. Ego demands attention and fulfillment of its desires. It needs to be appreciated. To gain liberation from the tyranny of the ego, you must pay the keenest attention to yourself and your world. Quietly observe and contemplate without drawing hasty conclusions and erroneous assumptions prompted by those old bits of information kept undusted on the shelves inside your mind. Concentrate, for instance, on the moon. What can be learned from this ancestor of Earth? Besides marking time in measurements of months, she moves the tides and influences the fluids of the human bloodstream, thus affecting the ebb and flow of emotion. The moon appears to be in a constant state of transformation. Imagine the first primitive little being who noticed the disappearance of the moon. Frightened of the darkness, they may have spurned the phantom with, "Who needs you anyway? Shine a little while and then you leave me. No warning, just left. It's an omen." So much excitement and turmoil for no reason. If the imaginary little Neanderthaler had walked and watched and waited with some poise and detachment, they may have gained insight instead of wasting energy. The darkness of the new moon can herald the beginning of awareness of the spirit. It can bring the birth of new understanding to one who is attuned. The stars do not die from the glare of the sunshine which obscures them. Low tide at the seashore does not indicate that the ocean has evaporated. Similarly, when the moon cannot be seen, it has not gone away. A silver sliver in the sky is not less moon than a full circle of light. It's avidya maya, spiritual ignorance, illusion, lack of wisdom, which makes it seem so. In all her manifestations, the moon is as constant as the purity of the soul, which transcends time, space, periodicity, and emotional cycles. A tiny seed, when planted in earth, is unseen to the human eye. It goes through a period of gestation, which could be considered the most miraculous time in its development. Like magic, the components of its being are energized and fertilized by nutrients and mysterious properties of water and soil. A kind of miniature atomic explosion occurs in the darkness, unseen and silent to human ears. Shoot breaks through shell of seed, becomes plant, reaches to the barrier of the surface, and pokes through to grow sufficiently tall to be noticed by the human eye. It appears between the earth's floor and the ceiling of the stars. But it was there all along. It is one of nature's illustrations. Such lessons are everywhere in infinite variety, but one who already has all the answers will be unable to see beyond the periphery of the ego shroud. In that case, knowledge is of no use. The need to be right in every situation, more often a cover for feelings of inadequacy, will obstruct the flow of truth and perpetrate the darkness of unwisdom. Though few can discern right from wrong when confronted with situations in their own lives, many pretend to understand what is being said by wise ones. In truth, they are not listening. When questioned on some aspect of their behavior, they devise all manner of circuitous evasions of truth. It is as if life itself depended on keeping the truth under wraps. This senseless need to be right results in much wrong behavior. Millions have died in battles caused by a few individuals ego-locked in argument over whose God or whose ideology was the only right one. Arrogance, criticism, and competition are products of self-absorption which interpret knowledge. Attempting to promote one's superiority by degrading others is blatant violation of the law of ahimsa, the law of non-injury. The temptation to judge is equal folly and should be resisted. After all, by what authority is one human given the right to judge another? By the authority of the ego? You should know that every time you think badly of someone, you accept some of that person's negative karma. Negativity attracts negativity. Hence the importance of maintaining a positive vibration through cultivation of positive thought and feeling. Strive to do your work, live your life as perfectly as possible without hindering the progress of others. By putting stumbling blocks in the path of others, you obstruct your own growth. Envy, anger, and hatred cannot take you where you want to go, but make your quest a failure. A tremendous amount of energy is spent in negative distractions, energy which should be channeled elsewhere in positive direction towards the growth that seekers are searching for.